the little princess whose magic only shined for 1 second. In the middle of the silver cloud kingdom, where the sky always smelled faintly of vanilla and stars whispered secrets to the moon, stood a beautiful place called Starlight Magic School. The school was built from pale pink stone that sparkled softly at sunrise. Its towers wore golden hats, and its windows hummed quietly, as if they were always singing a lullaby. Every morning, magical butterflies carried letters to classrooms, and every evening, the staircases tiptoed back to where they belonged. This was a school for young princes and princesses learning magic. And this was where little Princess Elina studied. Princess Elina was small, even for a little princess. Her crown often slipped down over one eye, and her magic wand was always slightly too heavy for her hand. She had round cheeks, curious eyes, and a habit of biting her lip when she felt nervous. Elina loved magic school more than anything. She loved the floating books in the library, the self-stirring soup in the dining hall, and the friendly classroom clocks that clapped when lessons were finished. But there was one thing that made Elina's heart feel wobbly. Her magic only worked for 1 second. A very short sparkle. On the first day of the new term, Professor Moonwillow, who wore robes the color of dusk, stood before the class.
Today, we will practice light blue magic. This magic glows from your heart and shines through your wand,
She announced gently. The students lined up eagerly. Prince Rowan made his wand glow like a lantern. Princess Mira's light twirled into a dancing star. Even shy Prince Theo made a soft moonbeam that lasted a whole minute. When it was Elina's turn, she took a deep breath. She raised her wand.
Glow, little light,
She whispered. Flash! A tiny sparkle appeared bright, beautiful, and vanished. 1 second, whispered someone behind her. Elina's shoulders drooped. Professor Moonwillow knelt beside her.
That was a lovely sparkle,
She said kindly.
But it was so short. Why does my magic always disappear?
Elina murmured. The professor smiled.
Magic grows in its own time.
But Elina wasn't sure she believed that. Trying harder and harder. From that day on, Elina practiced more than anyone. She practiced before breakfast. She practiced after class. She even practiced under her blanket at night, using a sock as a pretend wand. But no matter how carefully she stood, how politely she whispered the spell, or how tightly she closed her eyes, flash, 1 second, that was all. Her light never stayed. Sometimes, Elina felt her chest grow tight.
What if I'm broken? What if I'll never be a real magical princess?
She wondered quietly. One afternoon, she sat alone on the school steps, watching other children's magic float and shimmer in the air. Her eyes felt watery. Just then, something small and fluffy hopped onto her shoe. The 1-second bunny. It was a tiny creature with silver ears and a tail shaped like a glowing comma. Elina gasped.
I'm Blink. I appear for 1 second.
Said the creature cheerfully. And poof, he vanished. Then pop, he appeared again.
1 second.
He said proudly. Elina blinked.
You disappear too, all the time. It's my special talent.
Blink laughed. Elina frowned.
But isn't that frustrating?
Blink tilted his head.
Why would it be? Because everyone else stays longer.
Elina said softly. Blink hopped closer.
Do you know what happens in 1 second?
Elina shook her head.
In 1 second, a star can wink. A seed can decide to grow. A heart can be brave.
Blink said. Elina thought about that.
But I want my magic to last.
She whispered. Blink smiled.
Maybe it already does. Just not the way you expect.
The assignment. The next morning, Professor Moonwillow announced a special challenge.
This week, you will help the school using your own kind of magic,
She said. The students buzzed with excitement.
Remember, magic is not only about how long it lasts, but how it helps.
The professor added. Elina swallowed. What could 1 second of light possibly help? That afternoon, the bell tower clock began to cough and tick unevenly. The hallway grew dim. The floating letters bumped into walls. The staircase got confused and turned upside down.
Oh dear, the moment crystal is unstable,
Said Professor Moonwillow.
The what?
Asked Elina.
the crystal that keeps time flowing smoothly.
The professor explained.
It flickers when it's nervous.
The students tried their magic. Long spells, strong spells, shiny spells. But the crystal flickered faster. Elina's heart thumped. 1 second, that's all I have. A brave little try. Elina stepped forward, hands trembling.
I can try.
She said. The room grew quiet. She raised her wand, remembering Blink's words.
1 second is still something.
She whispered. She didn't force the magic. She didn't rush it. She simply felt her heart. Flash! For 1 second, her light touched the crystal. The crystal stopped flickering. The clock chimed gently. The staircase sighed in relief. And everything was calm. The room burst into soft gasps.
It worked,
Murmured Professor Moonwillow. Elina stared.
But it was only 1 second.
She said. Professor Moonwillow smiled.
and it was exactly the right second.
Understanding magic. That night, Elina lay in bed, staring at the ceiling stars. Maybe magic wasn't about being bigger, or louder, or longer. Maybe magic was about being right on time. The next day, Elina noticed things she hadn't before. She noticed when a classmate felt lonely for 1 second, she smiled at them. She noticed when a candle was about to go out for 1 second, she relit it. She noticed when someone felt scared for 1 second, she held their hand. Her magic still only shined for 1 second. But now, that second mattered. The Festival of Light. At the end of the term, Starlight Magic School held its annual Festival of Light. Every student was to create a magical glow to light the sky. Elina felt nervous again. What if 1 second wasn't enough? When her turn came, she stepped onto the balcony. She raised her wand. Flash! Her light appeared for 1 second, but that second was shared. Other lights caught it, carried it, multiplied it. The sky bloomed with color. Elina gasped as the stars seemed to smile. Professor Moonwillow placed a gentle hand on her shoulder.
Some magic is not meant to stay.
She said.
It is meant to begin.
Elina smiled. feeling warm all the way to her toes. A very special talent. Later, Blink appeared beside her.
1 second.
He asked.
1 second.
Elina laughed.
And the perfect one.
Blink said, vanishing happily. Elina looked up at the glowing sky. She was still a little princess. She was still learning. But now she knew something important. Even the smallest magic can be powerful. Even the shortest light can guide the way, and even 1 second can change everything. With that thought, Princess Elina closed her eyes. Her dreams glowed just long enough. The end.